Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another fast Descendant video. So new patch 1.3.5 September 18th. This is live. We are mostly getting some fixes to bugs and things like that along with buffs to the new trigger modules. So I'll quickly read through this section and then we'll go into the lab and I'll test this out. So the performance of the following trigger modules has been improved. Tactical acceleration adjusted the base cooldown time down from 20 seconds to 18 seconds. So overall it had a 20-second cycle, now it's 18. And now adjusted the tactical acceleration cooldown time from 12 to 8. So basically, once you had finished firing with your tactical acceleration, you had to wait 12 seconds until you could use it again. Now you can do it in 8 seconds. So basically they've reduced the time and you can be up again a bit faster. Okay, so I may need to do some adjustment to Enzo. Storm Bullet improved so that the continuous damage is affected by the reactor's attribute and RK power increase stats. Okay, this one is a little confusing. So are they saying if I have cooldown and crit damage, it will not increase? Do I need to have electric infusion on it to improve? Okay, again, we'll have to check. Blazing Zone improved so that continuous damage is affected by the reactor's attribute and RK power. Okay, same thing here. Miscellaneous. Okay, a few more changes here. New skins, bug fixes, the weekly challenge on the battle pass. So basically what was happening was if people use the photon imprinter to transfer the catalyst from normal Luna to ultimate Luna, some of the challenges in the weekly battle pass were not getting completed, so they will do that. Then we have some bug fixes. Most importantly, the fever time got fixed, and they're saying there will be a mail that will give us one free catalyzation catalyst from the 19th onwards. Okay, so from tomorrow until the 1st of October, until the next patch, there will be a free catalyst. UI UX, so item in development items were visible. Okay, I did not know about this one. Sorting, enemy HP bars are not visible, things like that. Okay, fixed an issue where the maximum reduction value of the attribute resistance a reduction effect was not being correctly applied. Okay, so what does that mean? Was it not being applied, like it wasn't going to the full 20%, or it was giving incorrect numbers? Again, this is something that we'll have to play around for a while before we notice the difference. All resistance plus stack. Okay, so nothing major. It's the main thing here that the new trigger modules have been passed. So let's go into the lab and have a look. All right, so welcome to the lab. So I have tweaked Enzo a little bit. So we are using maximized duration. If you see here, we are getting 22 seconds cooldown on the fourth ability, and the duration on the small supply ship is 15.2 seconds. So just under 7-second difference between the cooldown and the duration. If I swap this for a focus mode, let's say focus on dimension or something, sorry, focus on non-attribute, what we get is 16.5 on the cooldown. So it's gone down from 22 to 16.5, and the duration has gone down from 15.2 to 12.2. So we only have a little over 4-second difference, whereas before we had 6.8. So this will give us more of a chance to use the fourth ability. And basically, as you can see here, I have an 11.2 second duration. So I'll have to wait another 8 seconds. And by that time, because I have a 16.5 cooldown on the fourth ability, I'll have it up again. Previously, I was getting 22.5, so I had to wait 22 seconds. So basically less time in between, and we can keep firing. So if I activate the fourth, you can see I got the tactical acceleration. I'll be getting ammo, and I can fire as long as I have ammo. So you can see here, you don't have to worry about reloading. Now we are in the cooldown. Now we can wait a few seconds here, the 8 seconds in between, because the fourth will be up, and see fourth is ready. And now the 8-second cooldown is also done, and so we are back to doing this. You can also use the first ability in between. When we enter into the red cooldown, we can do this, and this will help us reload faster. So for a few seconds when we have to reload, we can do it faster. And now we can see the fourth is up again, and we get the tactical acceleration back. So this is definitely a big improvement and a buff to Enzo. So Enzo will be more efficient. You won't run out of ammo on your relic, and yeah, you will have less time in between. And of course, you will also be buffing your teammates. They can also shoot without having to worry about um, the gap in between. Anyway, so Enzo tactical acceleration, I would give it a thumbs up. Now let's look at Sharon. All right, so on to Sharon now. Um, so in my previous video on Sharon, what I did was I went up to level 190 Vulgus and used her second skill, fourth skill to see how much damage we were getting. Previously, we were getting 427 million total damage and about 74 million average DPS. We are getting much higher numbers now using the exact same build. I have not changed the reactor for the electric and fusion type. We'll do that as well. So this is the first thing I want to check. If we are getting more damage and more damage numbers, and we are definitely seeing much bigger damage numbers with the same enemy, same number of quantum domain, same bombardment. We are getting 970 million. I have tested this a few times, so we are definitely getting more damage with the same reactor. Now the other thing that they have said in the buff, in the patch notes, is the if you have element and archetype on the reactor, you should see bigger numbers. So the problem is I don't have the optimization condition for the blue beetle on this one. But yeah, let's just see what we are getting. I feel like we are getting bigger numbers here. Total damage 546. So even compared to before, we are getting more damage with the element and archetype, even though this is not mounted. Let me see if I can put an SMG and see what we get. We'll not be getting the crit rate and stuff like that. See what numbers we can get. Well over a billion. So if I had the blue beetle mounting, I would get even more. So definitely a massive buff to Sharon. Basically, it seems the damage has been doubled. Yeah, Sharon is going to get even stronger. I might run the Void Erosion Purge or something like that to see what we are getting. Insane. So yeah, Enzo definitely benefited. Sharon definitely benefited. Now let's see if Lepic got any reason to be happy with the new buff. All right, so Lepic now. Now I'll be honest, I don't use the Blazing Zone with Lepic. I have a decent one here, but I've been using Power Increase and the Death by 1,000 cuts, and those seem better. Main issue for me with this one wasn't the damage as such, but the duration. And this is going to have the same thing where element and archetype will give you more power. So let's see, 4 seconds. Yeah, I mean, it's 13 million here. Don't know if we can get an apples to apples comparison. I don't have one with tech and fire. This is the best one I have, tech and cooldown. So we are at least getting more tech here. And at least this has also got the mounting for the weapon. So we got 13 million with that one. And with this one, $11 million. So it doesn't seem to be giving us more with. So it seems the element and archetype give you power, but your default status of your reactor, if it's fully enhanced or not, that is also giving you quite a bit of damage. Because if you saw with Sharon, we were using the same reactor and we were getting more than double the damage. And when we put the element and stuff as well, we were still seeing more damage. Here, I'm not seeing a huge difference because we are losing out on the crit damage with this reactor, and we are using crit damage here, which is giving us more damage, it seems. So yeah, I'm unsure about this one. Maybe I'll need to do some more testing, but I think 2 out of 3 is not bad overall. So Sharon seems to benefit the most. Enzo also got a nice quality of life improvement. We don't have to wait as much. But this one, again, I wasn't using it to begin with, and this is not going to change my mind. I'll stick with the power increase and death by 1,000 cuts. So yeah, so that's just some rough testing in the lab here. If I notice anything else, I'll mention later. But yeah, that is it for this one. Thank you for watching. See you next time.